Rob Parsons, our chief foreign editor, is still with us on the line. And Rob, as we look at these emotional scenes, it is quite amazing to realise that there are now no French hostages being held anywhere in the world. And over the last few years, that has been a real difficult and painful situation for France, hostages being held in this part of the world. And that dark chapter now appears to be over.
Well, it is for the time being, at least. But I mean, one has to assume that there will be other hostages in the future because this conflict will go on. And hostage taking has proven to be profitable in the past. In this particular case, 100, Philip was saying maybe 200 jihadists have been released. They will see the profitability of seizing hostages. So although France will breathe a sigh of relief that all its nationals are now in freedom, there will be concern that in the future this could happen all over again. It's part and parcel of the sort of conflict that's being conducted in the Maghreb, in the Sahel at the moment. There's always a risk, so long as there are French nationals or other nationals working in NGOs or charities in the area, that they will become targets, as indeed anybody else.
And as we've been saying, an awful lot of quite dangerous people have been released. People who the French soldiers are fighting in Bamako, and it's got to be a bit of a double-edged sword for a lot of French people. Your mind goes, to that terrible incident where the French soldiers were killed in a blast by jihadists. A lot of people have lost their lives to jihadism in this part of the world.
Absolutely, and not just to French people. The Malian army has suffered one of its worst years since the start of this conflict. Imagine how they're feeling about it. It is, as Philip again said, this is something that the Malian government will be looking to the French for some sort of gesture in response. They've certainly helped France out in this particular case. Releasing 100 to 200 jihadists is no small thing. Given the fact that hundreds of Malian soldiers have died in the fight against these same jihadists over the last year. So, they really have made a big gesture. In return, of course, the French authorities will now be hoping that the new government in place will take a much more organized and professional approach to the struggle against jihadism in Mali and throughout the Sahel. Because remember, Mali operates together with the other G5 Sahel nations against jihadism. It's not something that's just in Mali anymore. It's spread throughout to Niger, to Chad, and even beginning to show up in West African Atlantic coastal countries as well. But yes, there will be concern, I think, in Mali at the moment about the sacrifice that they've had to make to get this hostage release. And remember, of course, not just the French hostage, Madame Pétronin, but also the Malian opposition leader and the two Italians as well. But nevertheless, for the Malian authorities, this is a big gesture.